back. It's Cork Stats, powered by the Mayo Media Net here on YouTube and presented by Jock MKT. Download the daily fantasy app for free. Use the promo code MMN for free. They're going to match the first $100 for free. And if you've been rolling with me, you've been getting PAID in the shade, baby. How about that? It's the big dude with the big mouth with the big apple, Big Johnny Stud, coming to you worldwide as always from Brooklyn, New York. Coming out the chair as always from Brooklyn, New York. What's up, everyone? Yes, y'all, and you don't stop. Yesterday was pretty good. We wrapped up really strongly with that total base prop work at the end of the day. Those kind of split schedules can be really tough. I was really into Singer yesterday. That rain came in and yikes, that one went off the rails. Lance Lynn kind of dunked in our face, but such is life in the big city here. We're doing it, yes, y'all, with the fastest show in MLB absolutely anywhere. You can take that bad boy to the bank with the tree pillars of profit. It's daily DFS jock market overlaying the total base props. We're going to do fantasy because we had the trade deadline. Today we'll be doing the hitter leaderboard. Tomorrow we'll do the waiver show. Ads at 10, 12, and 15 team leagues, every single position, trying to be all things to all people. Come on, you know how we do, me and you, the Cork Stats crew. Rate, review, and subscribe to the audio-only pod, please. And in a little bit, hopefully after I've earned it, I'm going to ask you for a cartoon finger in me. So let's get down. Let me try and earn those likes because they mean a lot more than they should. And if you appreciate all the stuff we're bringing to you, it begins here at Cork Stats, of course, Mayo Media Net. You follow me over onto Twitter at MLB Moving AVG on the Bird app, and then on Patreon as well. Don't forget it, it's not Patreon, it's Freetreon for you and Metreon. And if you appreciate it, holler at our boy Patty Mayo, the man on the marquee. He is just the best to work for, to work with, to work around. He really is so cool. If you thought I was cool, he's got me by the nth degree. You tag him, let him know how much it means to you to get the implied team totals, starting pitcher ranks. I mean, every single thing. I don't know if there's anything left for us to do. We run the algo, we score the games, you get price settings for Jock Market because, of course, that's really, really important. Let's get into that. We'll explain it a bit further. Baby, here we go. It's the 8-4 run it back stack attack with Johnny Mac. Here we go. It's the Philadelphia Phillies from Broad Street, those fighting Phils up against Paulo Espino. 3.78 ERA, 1.25 whip, generally not what we go after. 7.35 OPS. Hang with me, you know I got something for you. 18K to 5% walk, really kind of boring. Single digit swinging strike rate. Now we're talking about the stuff we get into. 54% first strike too low, 30% chase rate too low, 89% in-zone contact rate is too high. And then when you get in the zone, too many fly balls at 47, and a more than 9% barrel rate has been the reason for that 1.6 home runs per 9. But of course, when you come to roll with us at Cork Stats, I mean nuance and context at the center of all analysis, especially this point in the year, it's really, really important. We've seen the sell-off happening, teams jettisoning talent, and now that creates vacuums for playing time that must be filled. Now, the good teams have embarrassments of riches, which makes it hard for fantasy players. Maybe not so much for daily plays unless you're me, right, because you're waiting for the lineup. But in those bad lineups, what's going to happen? What's going to happen in that fill? And we've seen that in Washington. Check it out. So Espino started the year as a reliever, 27 innings pitched. He had a 2.03 ERA, 1.01 whip. Wowza. Then they moved him up into a starter as they started selling off everything that wasn't nailed down as a starter. 5 ERA, 1.4 whip, 2.5 home runs per 9. All the stuff we're looking for. And then as a starter, remember, velo tends to dip. Arsenals tend to be used differently. It's been a really rough go, especially against righties. The vast majority of hitters have a 3.38 batting average, 10.31 OPS against Espino as a starter. Remember, you really got to separate starter from reliever. They are very different. One of the ways that season stats can get you in trouble, but we're doing the best we can to bring you all the details. And the last tool we didn't mention, maybe the one everyone's favorite, is the starting pitcher sheet. I try and put it out right after the show. If I forget, you can just tag me. I mean to put it out right after the show. It's done. I use it to build these arguments, and I think it's probably the best pitching tool on the web. I mean, it's very difficult to do. These sources come from everywhere. They take a very kind of nuanced and personal touch, and I'm very proud of it. So check it out every day, again, on Twitter and Patreon, where you can get all this kind of goodness. So the problem again is that fastball to righties, 42% use, 615 xlug, 18% whiff. Again, that's my own triple slash for pitches, usage, contact, whiff rate. Makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? I'm not that smart, remember. And 4 home runs against the fastball. So give me JT Realmuto. Bit of a slow start. He's getting up off the mat. I'm expecting a very strong second half from him. Remember, it's not about being hot. It's about sine waves. He's an excellent hitter who kind of went through a bit of a downswing, and not terrible, but not great. What do we expect him to be? Very, very good. When he starts showing those signs, you want to back this guy. Last 25 plate appearances against righties for JTR. The triple slash for hitters. Batting average, ISO, OPS. Remember, we use ISO because OPS includes walks, which will hurt you for total base prop. So again, as we try and cover the entire battlefield all at once, it really makes it a bit more efficient, a bit more effective, let's say, to incorporate ISO for total base prop. So let's get into JTR. 333 batting average, 190 ISO, 940 OPS. Check. The ISO may be a touch low for total base props. Keep that in mind. Against fastballs year to date, remember, he's going to see 42% usage. Against fastballs year to date, JTR from righties, even more particularly. 51 hard hit, 11 barrel, 382 expected WOBA. And then to Castellanos, who also, same thing, he is a very good power hitter. It can be tough adjusting to new environments. The Philly ballpark has not really played up for him the way we thought it might, but he's looked very good the last week or so. Last 22 plate appearances against righties. 429, 190, 1074. That 429 BA really popping. But more importantly, underpinning statistics when we look at individual pitches. Try and zoom out for the entire year because the sample tends to shrink. So against right-handed fastballs on the year, this is Castellanos. 64 hard hit, 20 barrel, and 3 shamalama ding-dongs. I have a feeling he's going yardo today. All right, that's the first stack in the first pillar, those fight and fills. Then let's get over to the Astros going up against Zach Plesac. Plesac on the season, 4.33 ERA, 1.3 WHIP, 7.09 OPS. Again, these are not really the type of kind of garbage metrics we're going after. It's a very limited slate. But again, I think I have a pretty compelling argument here. Let's get after Plesac. He's really kind of vanilla and a bit of a jag when you look at the year-to-date, right? When you see JAG, just a guy. 17% K is meh. 6% walk is okay, but it's meh with a 17% strikeout rate. Sure, he's not walking guys, but he's also not striking them out. That's what it means. There's a lot of contact being made. Keep that in mind. 86% in-zone contact rate. Again, right around average, a bit worse. Again, I don't want to misframe this, but the quality of contact, because the misses for Plesac are bad, the quality of contact allowed is excellent for the hitter side. 43 hard hit, 11 barrel, a 427 expected WOBA on contact. Now remember, that's a isolated contact metric. That really matters when we're looking to describe specifically this. Again, part of the pitcher sheet. So be careful. Try not to be throwing columns away. If you understand how all these things work, you'll get exactly the story that I'm trying to tell with it. It really is pretty detailed. And again, if you watch the tutorial video tagged, just a few minutes on how to build these arguments. Think of our bet as a case to go in front of a judge. We need to be as compelling as possible, and then the outcome's out of our hands. Well, the jury and the judge may not side with us no matter how good we do, and vice versa. But if we win a case on a bad argument, that should not make us want to, go forward, I should say, with bad arguments. That's how we do it. So, all right, let's go up against Plesac. Looking very vanilla, very poor contact, and the fastball, again, at the center of it is very poor. 42 use, 658 X-slug, only 14% whiff. That's as bad as you're going to see anywhere. 16 extra base hits allowed against that pitcher. Give me Bregman getting up off the mat lately. He was excellent last 32 plate appearances against righties. 14% barrel, 355, 258, 988. cork strats, triple slash, wowza. Remember, let's stop real quick. 258 ISO is a 26% extra base hit rate. So if you expect him to get 4 plate appearances against a righty, we should be expecting 2 bases. Bit of a math. Remember, I'm a bit of a yo-yo myself. In that span, 2 doubles and 2 home runs. Keep in mind, he's also on the road for total base props. The reason I'm mentioning that, he ended up on the bubble on the outside. This will end up on the sheet. I'm going to probably play Bregman plus 110 total base props. Because they're on the road, you get yourself the 9th frame. With a team like the Astros, I don't really like to play them at home when they're a heavy favorite, because you're not going to get the 9th frame, and that has to calculate into the formula. So, all right. Back to Please Sack. We know the fastball is bad. We know Bregman is good. How about this? Yordan Alvarez. Everyone get your pen and paper. Yordan Alvarez is very good at baseball, professional baseball in particular. Yes, of course. Waka, waka, waka. But again, we want to be looking for the underpinning statistics. He is a fantastic fastball hitter, particularly against righties. 81 contact, 74 hard hit. Think about that. 74% of the balls on the way out at 95 miles an hour or greater. 21 barrel, 13 blast. Remember, blast being the ideal subset of barrels. He's a 451 ISO extra base hit rate, 521 expected WOBA, and 8 shamalama ding-dongs with the shibbity bop. Yeah, holy cow, Yordan Alvarez is phenomenal. I called my MVP. I said he was going to be the MVP. You could call me on that. We have the video in the beginning of the playlist, the preseason playlist. And if you're a fantasy head or into just advanced baseball stuff, the offseason stuff here was so good. Oh my God. I'm going to put together like a compilation video of just how awesome we did, again, with this new kind of granular work that not a lot of people are doing. So it gave us some different answers. I'm not saying no one else thought Yordan was good. I was kind of leaning more towards the pitching side. But I actually said Austin Riley would get MVP votes. I said Pete Alonso was going to win the MVP. Well, these two guys are kind of neck and neck. A lot of people didn't think either one of them could hit for the average. So there we go. Gold star on my big fat nose. That's 2 stacks. Let's get into the last one. It's the Boston Red Sox, those red laundry from somewhere up in New England, going up against Chris Bubich. 5.45 ERA for the Royals with cheese. 1.6 whip, 8.22 OPS. There's those metrics we normally get after. FIP, Sierra, and deserved ERA all north of 5. 18% K is too low. 12% walk is way too high. You have a 30% K rate, 12% walk is too high. 53 first strike, he doesn't get ahead. 27 O swing, he doesn't induce chases. And then he has to come in the zone, and it's bad news for Bubich. 46 hard hit, 9.5 barrel, the 1.5 home runs per 9 explained there. Again, what's at the center of it? A bad fastball. Especially, it's not just about bad fastballs. We're not just identifying bad fastballs. We're identifying bad fastballs that are being hyper used, which again, I don't understand the calculus there. If there are any bad professional baseball teams watching this and you'd like to get a little bit better, my phone is on. I probably could turn you around pretty quick with these attack plans that are very, very poor. They're extremely poor. I can't believe he's professional baseball. I really do. It's kind of sad, really. 51% use on the fastball. I mean, I just don't get it. 513 X-Lug, only 19% whiff. So just all the metrics just off the page. And I think they'd see if you pulled back on the fastball, used it a bit less, you might see the contact metrics dip. You might see the whiff rate go up, keeping people guessing, use a bit more off speed. Maybe he just needs another pitch. And if you don't have it, then they need another pitcher, because it's been really bad. So give me Xander Bogaerts, JD Martinez, and Rafael Devers. Let's do the thing that we do. Xander, last 50 plate appearances against lefties, 429, 262, 1229. I mean, everything you'd want. 429 BA, 262 ISO is excellent. With 7 extra base hits in those 50 plate appearances, he's doing it. So is JD Martinez, coming off the day off. I love the old man off the day of rest. 50 plate appearances against lefties, 318, 318, 1048 with 10 extra base hits, a 421 expected WOBA. I was checking out the work against fast left-handed fastballs year to date. That barrel rate is up over 17. JD Martinez going to have himself a day today. And then last but not least, Chris Bubich has the reverse split going on. Left-handed hitters year to date have a 375 batting average, 1176 OPS, and 5 of 12 home runs. That is extremely unusual to see a nearly even home run split for a left-handed pitcher. He's throwing the fastballs to lefties in particular. Again, nuance and context is just coming out of our noses, out of our ears, out of my big fat mouth. Of course, 60% use and 5 of the home runs all on the fastball. So give me Rafael Devers. He's going to go yard, lefty, attack. Versus lefties year to date for Devers, 303 batting average, 202 ISO, 842 home runs. 842 home runs, 842 OPS, and 4 home runs. So don't fear the reaper there. Don't be totally afraid of this crossing splits. It's not always how it works. Again, sometimes there is a weakness in a movement profile that matches up with a hitter's strength. And I think that's what we're going to see here. We're going to see a bad fastball against an excellent fastball hitter. And Rafael Devers also probably going to go yardy today. So I think that was an absolute clinic, as always, what you can expect every single day, as other kind of shows are falling off, right? They're starting to mail it in because they're doing football. Well, I'm doing football work as well, and I don't feel like I think the baseball work might even be getting better. As I get better at making these graphics and stuff now, a lot of them are automated. I'm getting to spend more time on the work that I should be spending it on and not on the production. The production value does mean a lot to me, right? It's not as important as kind of the work itself, the math and stuff. So that's the first pillar. Let's dive into the fantasy end. Sounds like a good time to ask for a like, rate, review, and subscribe to the audio-only pod, please. And hopefully your fantasy teams are doing as well as mine are. And it's not that I came out of the box awful. Lots of injuries and misses. I miss like everyone else. But if you're sharp and add all year in baseball and know what you're doing, you're going to improve as other teams don't. And that's exactly what I've done. So I was in last place across the board. Now we're in like 5th, 6th, and 7th place across the board. No more, I don't know if I have any more double-digit teams in leagues that matter, like Fab and waiver leagues. I don't think I have any more double-digit teams. So let's get into it. We have 2 lists here. So for the audio-only listeners, I'll just walk you through it. Again, what we do here is we go over this for the hitter and pitcher side, and then we put them together. So that's more the action. This is more the investigation. I show you a bit behind the curtain, mention some names. Again, these are not raw lists. In case you were wondering, Aaron Judge is good at hitting. Go trade for Aaron Judge. You can't do that. So I like to mention names that I think you could either acquire, have new open opportunities to playing time. Again, I really try and make this 5 minutes of fantasy worth it for you people. So, all right, let's get into it. This is blast rate. Like I mentioned, I have access to stats. Not everyone does, and we time sort them. So this is the last 45 days, minimum 40 plate appearances inside the top 35 blast rate. Nuance to the nth. Keston Hiura, he's back. He just got called up. That's why I made sure to mention if he's going to get run with the Brewers, got to keep an eye on him. We're not adding him yet, but he is a kind of guy. There is a lot of potential there. Because a guy stunk for the beginning of a career, and especially when it hasn't gotten a solid chance, really, don't throw out the baby with the bathwater, especially when he's free. Let's get into Luke Voigt, 17% blast rate. He has a potential to be a league winner down the stretch. You might be able to add Luke Voigt. People kind of, he's going to the Nats, he's going to be terrible. You might be able to get with him. Ramon Laureano, Gold Star, we add him everywhere. Trace Thompson, Gold Star, we add him everywhere. He's playing every day for the Dodgers. Flash some speed. I think he stole a bag yesterday. Joey Bart, hitting for power. Love that. A lot of times he's on the waiver wire in 12-team leagues to Bobby Dalbec, where we know how great he can be in short stretches, especially if they get like chunks of lefties in there. Dalbec plus 12% blast rate. That's nothing to sneeze at. But the K rate is still kind of unpalatable. To Nolan Gorman, looking good. Juan Yepez, I know he's been out, but he is coming back. So again, a guy that you have to circle, because if you can get your hands on double-digit blast rate free on the waiver wire before he's back, if you have that spot, you drop $1 or $2 on him in Fab, you're going to get Yepez if you don't have him already. And he's a guy that can help you down the stretch. To Joey Gallo, again, we know he kind of stinks, but with a change of environment, there's always a potential there. And, it's as good of an analytic team as you can go to. If anyone is going to figure out how to fix you, it's the Trolley Dodgers. Finish up with Nolan Jones. He's been very impressive. We added him early just based on playing time potential track record. And now, look, he kind of stuck. I didn't really pay much for him. He was like a $15, $17 waiver ad, Fab ad at the time, and boom, he's paid the bills. He's been very good, and with multiple position eligibility, it's been nice to have some flexibility as we enter the dog days. The second list is inside the top 70 xWOBA. So right off the bat, you should be thinking, if it takes 35 names to find 10 interesting ones in Blast, but 70 names to find 10 interesting ones in xWOBA, then the xWOBA list is very hard to crack, and it's probably pretty correlative to excellent players, right? So there's like an idea of how you're going to apply this stuff. We all know xWOBA is a very good stat. If I had to pick one to describe a hitter, that's probably it. People then get into weeds with what's predictive and what's not. I don't know I don't know how to predict the future. I'm not sure anything does, so I'll just worry about what I know it does, which is describe the past. xWOBA incorporates exit velocity, launch angle, and all that kind of good stuff. Although, I know people do this whole luck thing with it. I wouldn't go that far. I just think it's descriptive. So let's get into the top 70 ex-Woba. Christian Arroyo getting run Boston every day. So all these names, I went and checked myself. They're all playing. Believe it or not, these are all players that are playing, let's say, at least 5 days a week, maybe even more. I was looking for 4 or 5 consecutive days, so let's run it down. Christian Arroyo, Lars Nootbaar, yes, he's playing for St. Louis. Nolan Jones, we mentioned. Nelson Velasquez, outfielder for Chicago, is playing. Nolan Gorman is playing every day for St. Louis. Brendan Rodgers is playing every day for Colorado. He might be a guy, this is interesting. Let's say you were in a league that has trades and are looking to upgrade somewhere in middle infield. He's a really good target, I think. He's a very good target because I think he's a player you can acquire. He's not a player teams are really keeping. If there's like a 5 or 6 kind of keeper league and you'll move him, I know I did. Unfortunately, I had too many injuries to sustain. So I was supposed to be in a rebuilding year anyway, but I do usually stink into the playoffs and they make some noise because of all the ads. Well, you got to see my team. It's Drury and Morrell. I have all these guys that no one ever heard of before, and now they were good. So if I moved Brendan Lowe, another kind of player, probably not a keeper. I have a lot of young guys, Al Thomas and O'Neal Cruz, right? I have all the youngsters because I'm rebuilding in the keeper league. So a guy like him, you move and just get anything for him. Move up on the draft board. So a guy like Rodgers, I really like. Trace Thomas, Aledmus Diaz, he's certainly a guy. He might even be a waiver. I don't know if people know how good he's been for the Astros, but another one who you could probably trade for cheap. People looking to sell high, but we know there's some quality there. Vinny Pasquantino and Ha-Sung Kim, though he did play after all the trades. You definitely have to keep an eye on playing time. In San Diego, they just, loaded up for Bear. So I'm not crazy about that move, but, you got to just circle what the board tells you and then look. And if the investigation ends there, then so what? It ends there. Doesn't mean you're throwing away the investigative process because it didn't yield. Like, investigations don't always yield. I think that's a problem with youth today. All right. Round and third, let's go head this one home. Yesterday, we kind of split, right? We hit the money line parlay nice and easy. That was a beauty. I said they could have both been run line scores. They both were. But again, run line plays are very greedy. We missed the double Royal play. I hate doubling up on plays. It never seems to work. I don't understand. We missed the Melendez total base prop. We missed the F5, but made up for it later on. I posted 4 plus money total base props. We hit 3 of them. So, Rengifo hit for 150. It's so awesome. These total base props are crazy. Juan Soto, of course, the one that let us down at 145. I know some people, it's a big parlays. I know, I saw them, but what you going to do? Here we go. MLB MA first looks presented by Jock Market. Let's get back in black. Everybody, I got another full game parlay. Stop real quick. I felt a little bad about doing early stuff yesterday. I know it's a bit of a turnoff for people kind of coming home. So I'm really going to try not to do that. So a day like today, but there's 2 games at 12, whatever, forget those. There's 3 games at 3:45. Those hit me up on Twitter and social media and all the true degenerates. We can work through that. But all this is 7 p.m. stuff. 6:40 is the new 7 p.m. But all that, I want it to be late. I really do want everyone to have a chance to play and have fun with this. It's a lot of fun as we do this work to watch it play out on the field. So give me a couple of heavy favorites. We're going to pack them together for better than even money. I like Philly. We mentioned it. I like Houston. We mentioned it as well. Noah Syndergaard, new acquisition going up against Paolo Espino. I mean, Washington's so off. The offense stinks. Philly's in a good spot. I like Syndergaard. I just think this one is kind of runaway. I hate to call for blowout, so I'd rather pack them together and not be greedy because we know sometimes you're up 2 and then the team, you allow the run. Quick feather, and then I'm going to ask for another like button because this is a very good betting strategy. And it's try and bet on things that the teams care about. Because if not, they'll sacrifice your money, right? And that sucks. What do I mean? Every team plays to win, from the bat boy up to the general manager. They don't play to cover spreads. So if you find yourself up too late with a man on third and 1 out, they're going to let that run score. And that's, doesn't necessarily make it a bad cap. So those kind of things really can suck. I've always thought run line plays are a bit greedy. They have been tempting us with these odds. But now if we find that the run line is -140, I'm not never ever going there. So I'd rather pack those for better than even money and just hope to coast it and whatever. I'll just let it be. So we have a pretty distinct edge on all phases of the game. in Philly against Washington. Plus, we're home. I really like that a lot. And then, we mentioned Houston on the road in Cleatown. Justin Verlander on the bump against Plesac. Again, we should just have this one pretty easily. Houston's healthy, looking really good. Everyone is back. The top of the order for Houston, when they're in order, they're very tough to beat. And when you're in a spot where a pitcher struggles against lefties, you automatically want to be thinking, Yordan Alvarez. Again, this is almost like intuitive here. So give me Philly, give me Houston, pack them together, and that's the 120 right there. So we got a nice plus money parlay. And then if you're looking for the audio-only people, the suspense must be killing you. I'm going for it all. I don't know. As I was doing my work today, I don't know if I was up too late last night or as I was doing this work, but I do little notes, of course, right? As I'm making my notes, I make notes. Ooh, there's a real tip for you people out there. Look at me just dropping just 80 grade analysis here. But my notes said, doing Houston, I said, man, Yordan's hitting a home run tonight. I did Philly, man, Castellanos hitting a home run today. And I did Boston, I said, man, Boston hitting a home run, Devers hitting a home run today. Now, I was looking at the odds, and I still run the home run model, but the home run model turned into a total base tracker because they killed the total home run prop odds. I'm nuts. I will never, ever in my life, if I ever post a plus 175 home run, I think that's what Yordan's was, a plus 185, I've been kidnapped. Please ignore me. Please make sure my wife and kids are okay. Please, that's all I ask. If I ever post a home run prop at less than plus 300, something happened to me. I've been ESPN kidnapped me. They don't want me. Taking away their viewership or making people realize how bad their shows are. Sorry, but listen, the proof's in the pudding. If you want, you put me on a stand. I could go at it with anybody. You know it, man. I'll take my followers up against those analysts any day. So I'm going with the 50-1 Bing Bong parlay. I got the home run parlay, man. I've been seeing them. I used to run them. We used to hit them all the time. The odds weren't there. So Castellanos had kind of Shingod's odds, and Yordan had bad odds. Devers had probably plus 400. So I think that one could rock as an individual play. So I might drop a tenth of a unit, a 0.10 on that bad boy. But I am going for the 50-1 Yordan, Castellanos, and Devers home run props. We covered them all. Castellanos in an excellent spot, looking for the right-handed fastball. That's what we'll be looking for today to take advantage of Espino's fastball. Then Yordan, the same thing. We'll be looking to take advantage of Plesac's fastball. He has been ridiculously good in that manner. And then Boston, we're going to look to kind of juke a little bit and go with the lefty-lefty smash where Devers is going to take one of those fastballs. I'm going to go Oppo. I'm actually calling it Oppo. They should give us double odds for calling it Oppo like in pool. But I'm going to call it in a corner pocket. So Devers is, and that's the late game. So that's going to wrap up the 50-1 parlay and get your emojis ready. Give me Philly packed with Houston plus 120, and then give me Yordan, Devers, and Castellanos to all homer at 50-1. And that will do it. What a rush, man. This show is just the bomb. I listen back sometimes, and I'm like, gosh, people must think I am so out of my mind. It's the truth. I imagine. Usually, whatever. The question most people get about me is, where did you find this guy? And the answer is Brooklyn, New York, baby. Where else could it be? There you go. Please rate, review, and subscribe to the Audio Only Pod. I hope you're having fun, man. Right, it's the dog days of summer. We're working extremely hard. But it's really important to have fun when you do it, too. And I feel the connection that we have. It's not fake, but it's real, and so it's part of it. So not only do we know that you need to have fun while you're working hard, we've now created a kind of organic, petri dish where it happens. I know as the band leader of this, fun tends to follow me. But when fun, smart people gravitate, it becomes like, remember chemistry class, like the atoms, so we're like, boop, 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 boop. And now this is really crazy. And I hear it from content creators themselves. I hear it from companies themselves, just really in love with the thing we're doing. It's just it's really so much fun because I think the overlap here, that Venn diagram of, kind of brains and character, and not just, integrity character, but kind of, joking character is fun too, right? It's just entertainment. It should be entertaining at least. And imagine if we were to cover this as if we were on public radio. Nobody would want to hear that stuff. It's not any fun. It's not fun for me. I wouldn't be able to make it through 6 months of this. I don't think, speaking that slow, I'd be able to get to all the information. This show will be 8 hours long, yo. Speaking of which, we're up against it. Download the Jock Market app. Use the promo code MMN. Get up in there. We're going to be running those stacks tonight. You bet your bottom dollar. But also, don't forget, if we identify a handed split, you can run those hitters in Jock Market depending on the price. I usually cap everybody at $5.55. Maybe a guy like Jordan is a exception because, he could hit 7 home runs tonight. So that'll do it for everybody here at the Mayo Media Net, the lovely ladies and gentlemen here that care about you so very, very much. I'm bringing you the very best baseball content on the web, yo. Rate, review, subscribe for the 27th time. Oh, give me a cartoon finger. Maybe give me 2. Enjoy the games. Enjoy your day. When we're done with the book, enjoy that pay, homie. Remember, when you work this hard, it feels a lot less like luck. I catch you on the flip side, yo. Peace.